Hello. Today we're going to do leg day. I'm going to teach you how to do 3 different workouts, and I'm going to show you the correct technique, how to do them, and then on another video you will have like the full-on workout without me explaining. I'm going to teach you how to do goblet squats. This is great for quads. One of my favorite ones. First off, I like to start with a plate. So it's going to be an elevated version. As you can see on the plate, there are some parts that stick out and then some parts that don't, that have like the grip. You want to have the grip in the center and then the 2 parts that stick out, one beside the other. That's where you're going to put your heels. Okay. So when it comes to foot position, which is the first thing, you want to have your heels elevated, okay? So you're going to place them shoulder width apart and you're going to have your toes pointing out. You never want to do it completely forward because your knees will go inwards and that can be dangerous for your knee. So you want to have your toes pointing out, and the way that you know where the heels are correctly placed, basically you want to be able to lift your toes and be okay with it, right? Not enough where you're just standing up here and then you can't bring them down. It's a little bit of a balance. It's kind of where the back of the heel starts. So we already have the leg and foot position. If we go a little bit up, we have our torso, and this is our core. This is how we're going to protect our spine and avoid any injury in the upper area. So the way that you do that is by correcting your breathing. We usually breathe through our chest. It is not correct. It is not how we were born breathing, but it's a society thing where we don't want to be showing our belly, so we like to breathe up here in our chest. Not correct, especially for this type of exercise. You want to breathe with your diaphragm. So basically you're going to inflate your stomach and you're going to squeeze in as if someone was going to punch you, right? So when we do the exercise, we breathe in, inflate, we squeeze, we hold our breath, and we come down. We come up, and then we take all of the air out. Now, when it comes to doing the actual squat, you're going to have your feet already looking outwards, which means your knees will automatically go out. So you just squat down and come up. You want to make sure that you have a neutral back. That means that you're not going to be arching or rounding your back. You're going to have a neutral back, completely straight. And then when you come down, you're going to do the same thing where you just come down and up. No arching and no rounding. You're going to carry weight, which will make you want to round your back a little bit. Hey, chest out and squeeze in your shoulder blades. So that is basically the squat. Feet underneath your... So that is basically the squat. You have feet shoulder width apart, pointing out, breathe in correctly, chest out, contracting your shoulder blades, and you come down and up. Now when we want to add weight, my trick is to use one of the weights as a lifter. It's a little helper. And then the actual weight that I like to use, I put it on top. So now when it comes to grabbing the weight, you just want to have this position. When you come down, you're going to lift it up by the head and grab it like that. Your fingers are going to be up here, only your palm will be underneath. You breathe in and up and down. And that is how you do a goblet squat. So now the leg press, how to set it up and how to use it. So first off, it depends on your height. You want to test out the machine. You want to come inside, sit down, and put your leg up. Now you might feel like you're way too standing up or way too low. That's where you're going to fix it. So you do that back here. So back here, there is a knob. It's always going to be different, but you're going to pull that and you're going to bring it down or bring it up. I like to keep it on the third one. I'm 5'4", but it also depends on the ratio of your torso and your lower body. Hey, so there we go. Now, usually you have different heights for the machine, but if you don't, just make sure you're comfortable enough to use it or ask someone to help you lift it up and put it back down. Understand that all of the machines are going to be different, but you're going to have these handles where you're going to push out. These are the safety pins. These are what's holding up that, okay? Let's say I want it here right now. I'm going to push up, going to push both handles away, and then I can use the machine, okay? That's how you use it. When you finish, you're going to lift up, bring it towards you, and come down. That's where it's locked, okay? If you're not comfortable in using it, take all of the weight out and try it. You will most likely feel comfortable then because it's very light to try without any weight. Not all of them, but some are very light. So we're going to begin by using the breathing technique that I taught you. So you're going to breathe in, bring up, bring down. Now, when you do these, you don't want to lock your knees. It's the most important one. You don't want to like push back, okay? You don't want to be doing this because if you have weight on top, it can be very dangerous. And I know you might have seen one of those videos where the machine comes forward and the legs go back, okay? So let's just be careful. We're going to put our feet in a position that you're going to work out the muscle that you want. Usually you want your toes to be pointing out so that your knees go out. Same thing as a goblet squat. You don't want your feet looking up where your knees are coming like this. You usually have these right here to hold yourself down. Very comfortable. So you're going to breathe in, lift it up, take away, and now you're going to bring it towards you slowly. You're still holding in your breath. You want to try and get the biggest range of motion, which means come as low as you can. And then you push up, don't lock knees, and then breathe out. Breathe in. Okay. Now we're going to be covering the leg extension. Now, same as I said before, all of the machines are going to be very different, but they have the same function. So just make sure that it's as comfortable as possible for your type of body. So now when you sit down, you're going to place your feet inside and underneath the pad that's down here. So I'm going to do that and that, okay? Now, the position of this pad, you can move it in some of the machines, and some of the machines you can even move the arm, okay? So you want the pads to be sitting right at the top of your ankle. You don't want it to be at your toes or on top of your foot because that is going to be very uncomfortable. So let's say this one, you have a pin that you can pull and then you can move around, okay? So right here, it's at my toes, still not comfortable. Right here, it's at the top of my foot, still not comfortable. And right here is where I want it, right on my ankles, okay? Now, sitting down, you want to have the back of the seat as close as possible to you so that you're not lifting from far away. So we're also going to be fixing the back of the seat. As I mentioned, you don't want it as far away as possible. You want it as close as possible. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you're going to have the same method as the pin down there. You're going to pull it out and you're going to move the pad. It all depends on the machine, but most of them have the same system. So this is as close as possible to me while my knees are right at the pad. You don't want it to be so far up that it's here. We're going to lift up. Now, as I mentioned, toes out. Every foot position can have a different function, but mostly foot out, okay? You're going to come down, hold, bring back up. I like to hold at the top because that is where the muscle is working out the most, and then we bring it back down. Up and down. Up and down. And that is it. That is how you use the leg extension. Remember, for every workout, every exercise, every machine that you use, clean before and after you use it for yourself and for others. See you later. Bye-bye.